The rise of teen idols, Timothée Chalamet and Harry Styles. How two heartthrobs are changing the standards of masculinity. It's no secret that Timothée Chalamet and Harry Styles have some of the most dedicated fan bases in Hollywood. However, unlike early teen heartthrobs, James Dean or Leonardo DiCaprio, both Chalamet and Styles have utilized their platforms to challenge gender expectations through the roles they play and their unique fashion choices. It is important to note that Chalamet and Styles' progressive agendas did not kickstart their careers. Instead, they have managed to evolve from typical teen heartthrobs into ones who challenge the ideals of attractiveness in the United States. Given their consistently loyal fans who support them in their bold fashion statements and new perspectives on masculinity, it is safe to say that Chalamet and Styles have succeeded in their goals to reposition the teen heartthrob from a piece of eye candy to a progressive, politically active celebrity who uses their platform for change. The beginning of a revolution in gender standards. So how exactly did Harry Styles and Timothée Chalamet gain the massive following that they each possess now? Styles got his start as the frontliner of British boy band One Direction. The band rose to prominence in the early 2000s, signifying a renaissance of the 90s pop boy band. Every good 90s boy band has a leading man. See NSYNC's Justin Timberlake or Brian Latrell of the Backstreet Boys. And One Direction was no different. Styles consistently seemed to draw the most attention from their adoring fans, made up almost exclusively of teenage girls. Eventually, as all boy bands must, the members of One Direction grew in different ways and decided to break up in 2016. Immediately after the announcement of their indefinite hiatus, Styles began to work on solo projects. He released a self-titled album in mid-2017, successfully transitioning the fans he had accumulated while in One Direction into his own. I could sit here and list out all the awards this album won and all the records it has broken, but at this point, you could probably guess them. So let's just say it was a very successful debut album and leave it at that. This album was extremely important in other ways as well, as it marked a change in the overall image of Harry Styles. By this point, he was no longer a rowdy British teenager, but a musician who took himself and his work seriously. His solo endeavors allowed him to acknowledge his success and approach music from a deeper, more artistically focused point. Fine Line was released just a little over a year ago now, and it is clearly Styles' magnum opus. Once again, this is an incredible album with a record-breaking number of accolades and awards. This time, the praise is more overtly significant because Styles presents a clear challenge to traditional masculine ideals in tandem with the release of this album. Every music video of the album, Golden, Lights Up, etc., features Styles sporting a flamboyant outfit while surrounded by adoring members of the opposite and sometimes same sex. Through his nonchalant approach to fashion, also known as "If I like it, I wear it," Styles had unknowingly created a new aesthetic for himself in the midst of the Fine Line release. On the album cover, for example, Styles wears a bright pink blousey top paired with extremely wide-legged and high-waisted white pants. Compared to the early days of his career, when he walked around in t-shirts and jeans, this is an impossible jump. But the beauty of Styles and his ever-changing aesthetic is that his fans will follow and support him through it all. A groundbreaking Vogue cover to further the conversation. Recently, Styles was featured on the cover of Vogue magazine, making a new era for the magazine. Not only was he the first male ever to be solely featured on the cover, but he also wore a dress. The dress in turn caused a ruckus on the conservative side of Twitter, garnering attention from notorious figures like Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. These two specifically were upset as they felt that Styles' gender bending was an outright attack on manly men. See, Styles didn't lose any fans or lessen his impact as an artist by wearing a dress on the cover of Vogue, and that's exactly why conservative Twitter felt upset, because Styles was praised for his fashion selection. His fan base was overwhelmingly supportive, even commenting on how attractive the male singer was in his chosen dress. And this, the fans' reaction, is exactly why gender-bending stars are threatening through the traditional ideals of masculinity. There's no stopping the revolution that Styles has created through his unique cultivation of fashion. It has set a precedent for years to come that teen heartthrobs can use their platforms in whatever way they decide to. Now, it's entirely unfair to discuss Styles' rise to prominence as a new age teen idol without mentioning his closely related co-teen idol, Timothée Chalamet. Though Chalamet has not been a notable figure in the entertainment industry as long as Styles has, he has still managed to make the same amount of impact in regards to challenging concepts of traditional masculinity. Timothée Chalamet setting new expectations of emotional vulnerability. Timothée Chalamet made his film debut in the 2014 drama Men, Women and Children, directed by Jason Reitman. He acted in a few movies and shows afterward, but he really rose to prominence after his portrayal of Elio Perlman in Luca Guadagnino's Call Me By Your Name. This film, coupled with the release of Lady Bird, catapulted him into the spotlight as the object of affection of teenage girls and boys everywhere. This is in all terms poetically ironic because the film Call Me By Your Name centers around a budding relationship between Elio and his lover, Oliver. The film is sexually graphic, which also makes Chalamet's rise to stardom as a heartthrob ironic as he was portraying a gay man. But that was part of the appeal to his fans. He thrives on roles that are emotionally vulnerable and pivot him as, for lack of a better term, a soft boy. Chalamet presented himself in a contrasting light to the cool, unfeeling teen heartthrobs of yesteryear. His emotional vulnerability on screen matched with the goofy persona he presented in interviews, combining to form a person whom females were attracted to for his genuineness. And that's presumably part of why Styles attracted a large fan base as well. His lack of caring about the opinions, backlash he received for his colourful fashion sense, made him feel that much more genuine to women. Chalamet's roles in Beautiful Boy and Little Women carried on his tradition of gravitating towards emotionally intelligent men, while his style continued to evolve to show an affinity for rule-breaking. Much like Styles, Chalamet has many iconic fashion moments, most of which involve garish patterns and colors, as well as traditionally feminine material like satin or sequins. His look for the 2019 Golden Globe Awards featured an all-black matching set with a sparkling silver harness as the statement piece. Though Chalamet has not received the same intensity of backlash as Styles has, he in his own way has successfully helped to change our mental image of what a teen idol looks like. Chalamet and Styles would not have half the impact that they do if it weren't for their ever-loving fans. The statement pieces and sparkly suits are not the things that feel threatening to traditional masculine ideals. It's the fact that both stars have managed to stay relevant and attractive to their audiences by evolving their style and changing the standard for men who we find attractive. No longer are six-pack abs and a grizzled beard the subject of teenage girls' adoration, but instead it's the tall, skinny, gender-bending, dark-haired boys who steal their hearts. Chalamet and Styles represent a specific period of time in which our standards of what we deem conventionally attractive are changing. Some may even say that their statements concerning masculinity have widened their audience, attracting new fans through the headlines about what they wore to the Met Gala or their upcoming performance.